such an asshole.
Before I do the thing, I gotta give a shout out to Black God. That was his handle on YouTube. He did a $10 super chat donation after I ended it, and he didn't have anything to say, but I just want to say thank you for the $10. Appreciate it. So this is gonna be a quick one. I wanted to read. It wasn't an article, it was a response. Well, I had it here a second ago. Come on, Clary, you had it. Get your head in the game. Client wanted to know about like all the different guys in the red pill community and like, come on, like they're charging this much money. And I think one of the more common complaints, like Rich Cooper, I think charges $1,000 or $3,000. It's above $1,000 per hour. And our professional wrestler of the group, Modern Life, John, and the guy was like, how do you look at this? You're like, I know a lot of you are legit, but how do you rationalize it and all that? And naturally, everyone, anytime you go and you put any kind of product up on the internet or dare profit from your life experience or heaven help you, you find out there might be a market for something, you make money on it. A lot of people come in, oh, the grifters, the grifters, the grifters. And whereas I understand their concern if it's outright fraudulent, I think there's a lot of legitimate things being offered that do help men. And so what I did is I had more of I approach everything from an economics perspective. And it is, I think, a huge thing people don't see when it comes to people offering their services on the internet, whether that's something as cheap as a book or whether something as expensive as my minimalism course, which, by the way, I offer for $450. The link is down below. Did he just promote me? Yes, I did. So here's the article. I also have it linked below in addition to a link to my class. I did that just to piss off all the right people. Dear client, finally got time to answer this. Here's the underlying economics of what's happening with all these guys in classes and grifters, etc. The United States and West in general has failed to raise the past 3 generations of men. If you think about that, that is a ton of time parents did not invest in their children. We're talking multiple trillions of human hours of training that should have gone into these men, and it hasn't. So this is a massive economic undertaking, not only in the programming and reintroduction on an entire life philosophy for an entire sex, but also we ourselves had to research, test, recompile, and reconstitute this data or information or philosophy. I would also add, we had to do it analog. We had to do it pre-internet, uphill both ways. So some of the older people like me and Rollo and all that. So this was not fun for us. I'm not saying that gives us the right to charge, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, I just found this. Oh, look, the rational male. I found it. Let me just regurgitate this crap. It was painstakingly drilled out from the clutches of feminists. We had to take crowbars and pry each individual finger off to get it refined. Like, hey, wait a minute. And that was hard. That was hard. So yes, modern day technology allows for the quick dissemination of that information, making it free, but we're still early on in the relative compilation and reconstituting of this information. So the vast majority of the information out there is available for free, but is not categorized or organized like a library would have it. That is the current stage we are at now, essentially organizing it into digestible bits that people can quickly reference. So it's like walking into a library where the information you seek is in there, but where is it is anybody's guess. So the main service people are paying for in classes is for an expert in the relative field to compile all that information in condensed form, be that a class or a book, etc. So this is what you are seeing where people are all up in arms screaming, this is free, it's on the internet. Yeah, but do you have the 40 hours to listen to all of Stefan Molyneux's podcasts to get the 45 minutes where he talks about the non-aggression principle? Are you willing to spend $15 for a book or even $100 for a teachable class, link down below, to have it condensed and conveniently presented for you? And that's why I think people are offering these classes and people are paying. It's more of a convenience of time-saving issue. Say you're some immigrant coming to America to study engineering and want to get laid. You do not have the time to listen to all of Rollo Tomasi's podcasts about American women, but you do have the time to buy this book, take Modern Life Dating's dating course, Modern Life Dating John's dating course, and Troy Francis's pickup school. May set you back $1,000, but that's better than 3 months of full-time listening to get it all for free. That being said, I think as time goes on, the internet will naturally organize these things into digestible, specific, and free information packets. And you can already do that somewhat already. I know nearly every one of those guys are sick of talking about the same damn thing: hit the gym, get a good degree, do the work, diet, etc., etc. And is why you see them branch out. But also, in their defense, they are busy trying to onboard all these young lost boys because they just keep coming. And here's another one: we literally cannot unplug these young men faster than the rate single moms are producing them, and we only have so much time. So there is higher demand than the supply of time we got, and yeah, we're going to charge for it. So I think what a lot of young men in the red pill community fail to see is they've been a part of this community for over years and have picked up this information for free, which is great. But a lot of new people are coming in. There's only so many of us, and not everybody's putting a gun to anybody's head to force them to take it. So yeah, we're going to charge. Finally, I'm of the firm belief that people don't do anything unless they pay a price. And I get sick of red pill theoreticians who read books, take classes, consume years of podcasts, only to not execute on the vice therein. And though it doesn't directly hurt me or any other content producer, the hypocrisy still pisses me off. Thus why I charge not only for my time, but for the near guarantee these people aren't going to do the work. I make them pay a price so at least they have a financial incentive to do the work and thus earn their money back and thereby improve their life or solve their problem. But overall, it is much simpler. But overall, the much more simple explanation is it's free market and people are paying. It's a free market and people are paying for it. What price do you charge? What the market will bear, but also more than what my next highest opportunity will pay. And right now, there is a nearly infinite demand for red pill truths from nearly all Western men alive today who have been fed nothing but feminist lives and Marxist propaganda their entire lives. Think of nearly every penny, hour, and dollar that was invested in these men over the past 50 years, brainwashing them into leftist ideology, feminist ideology, and realize it's going to take an equivalent amount of work, effort, resources, and time to undo all that programming and give them an operating system that functions in reality. It's a monumental amount of work, and there's obviously going to be money made in it. And so there you go. So now this isn't to say there aren't grifters. What is it? The Secret. Okay. Do it, have it, want it. Brian Griffin's book or whatever. Yes, there is that. But at the same time, I mean, you go ahead and read through any one of my books, read through one of Rollo Tomasi's books. I don't have time to read it. Isn't there a class? Yeah, I got, hey, you got financial problems? Of course, I'm the financial guy. Go to my Teachable site, the Cleary School of Economic Philosophy. For $100, there's a 2.5-hour class that explains all of economic theory and how value and money works, and directly like a laser focus, like the magnifying glass on an ant, focuses it all like, here, do this thing. If you do this, your financial problems won't all go away, but they will be a mere fraction of what. Is that worth $99 in 2.5 hours? You darn right it is. But it's 2.5 hours. So you don't have some thick academic theoretical book that I wasn't going to write anyway to get you to that. It's easier to talk about it. It's easier to digest it. And so it depends on what, do you have all the time in the world? Don't got a job, got a long bus ride? Well, yeah, then just tune into the Rule Zero or tune into Molyneux. Tune in Molly. You're thinking about the midterm, tune into Terrence Pop. Search some on YouTube, find it. Go. I mean, what are you? You're a younger guy. You think you're more black pill? Go to listen to Pete, that guy you refuse to invite to social gatherings. Right? You're more of a deep philosophical type. Go tune into Thinking Ape. You're economics nerd. You got all the time in the world. But if you don't have time, so I use the immigrant as an immigrant guy, you don't know what's going on. No one gave you the instruction manual to the United States, let alone the women. You're like, God, what the heck do we do? I've actually had several students come, what the hell? I'm like, well, here's the basics. You know what? And they paid $75. You know what? Best $75 they ever spent. Because they don't have time to go figure out America. I'm like, here's America in like 12 bullet points. Follow these rules. Don't get a girl pregnant. Best of luck, Ahmed. Thank you, Cappy. So there you go. Any super chats? Cappy the big. Oh, get out of here, Jack. He steals candy from children in tennis. Hey, I bought the dog a whole new canister of tennis balls. I went to the Walmart and they were $1.74. You got to get it then. You got to get it for the dog then. $1.74 for 3 tennis balls. That dog took the ball and moved it around and did nice like a new toy. Um, Dana B, $5. Why is there a Dutchman in the chat? This is affirmative action. Everyone needs their Dutch advisor, Harry. You know, you feel bad for them. They're tall, they're lanky, they got scraggly hair, they wear hats. You got to bring them in. Factions Toulouse, new guy or gal, $2. World War III possible next 10 years? It's always possible, sure. It's always possible. There's a big bitty redhead right around the corner, just wants to be my sex slave. Sure, it's all possible. There's a day. It's even possible Jack might find women attractive. Anything is possible, Marty. I'd say it's more possible in the next month than it is the next 10 years, but nah, ain't no one gonna stop Putin. Ain't nobody gonna stop Putin. All right, there you go. Questions, answers. AssholeConsulting.com. See you guys later, Toodles.